What's up, Indy 500 fans? David Land here, bringing you potentially the most important diecast review of 2016, at least for those of us who have the Indianapolis 500 near and dear to our hearts. This is the number 98 NAPA Auto Parts Honda for Andretti Autosport with Bryan Herta and Agajanian Indy 500 winning Alexander Rossi car for the 100th running of the greatest spectacle in racing. This is a 1/64 scale diecast produced by Greenlight Collectibles, and it is the first car produced on the new Honda Aerokit mold. This is an absolutely fantastic diecast, and this is probably my diecast of the year, and it just so happened to come from eBay 2 days or whatever it is before the end of the year and the start of 2017 and the run-up to the 101st Indianapolis 500. This is just a wonderful looking car. I cannot stress that enough. Greenlight did knock it out of the park. Just look at that thing. Beautiful, beautiful car. They got all the details right. Of course, as somebody who did several videos on the Aerokits for Indy 500 month, I would know what they look like, and that is definitely what it looks like. There you go, Alexander Rossi crossing the line on fumes after clutching and coasting across the start-finish line on the 200th lap. There you go, Rossi drinking the milk, very shocked face, number 98 there. 100th running logo. First time they used Indy 500 rather than the full Indianapolis 500 in the logo. Limited edition diecast metal chassis. Of course, Greenlight Collectibles. Taking a look at the back of the box, you've got some legalese down here, and then you've got the team members here. We'll try to do a quick close-up of these guys. Actually spoke to them at Watkins Glen specifically about this car, so it's pretty cool. They were very nice guys, the Bryan Herta Autosport team, which are now employed by Andretti Autosport. But yeah, just some great guys there. And then, of course, you've got the back here with the card, which we will be taking a look at a little bit later in closer detail. The Andretti Autosport logo. You got the number 98. You got Rossi's good old mug there. You got the IndyCar hologram. And once again, the Indianapolis 500-mile race logo and limited edition diecast metal chassis. Absolutely fantastic looking box as well. I think this is one of the best boxes they've done. Some people were like didn't understand the light blue. I think the light blue actually kind of works with the gold of the Indy 500 logo, and then it does a great contrast with the dark blue of the NAPA Auto Parts scheme. So I will be opening this up, but don't lament, I will be getting another one for the box and when the figure version of the 118 comes out. So I figured for the 100th running, since it's such an important diecast and a lot of people are going to want to see it, I'd buy one to review early. Again, I got this off of eBay. They are shipping out. I know a couple other people on Instagram also got theirs today. So they're shipping, so if you want one, go get it. So, well, after you watch this review, of course. So let's take a look at the diecast. So here it is, out of the box, your 100th running of the Indianapolis 500 winner, Alexander Rossi's number 98 Honda. I mean, the pictures say it all. It's hard for me to even say it, but I'll say it again. This is an absolutely fantastic diecast. So good. And Greenlight spared absolutely no expense on this one. I think they nailed everything they had to do. There's so much stuff I want to go over on this, so let's just do a full, I don't want to steal Robbie's 360 view, my friend Race Day 2011, but I will say it for this. We're going to do a 360 view of this because we absolutely have to. Look how many sponsorship or sponsor logos are on this car. They really did a good job, the Bryan Herta crew, of getting a lot of sponsors onto this car for the 100th running, and obviously those sponsors who did sign on with this car were repaid in full. Now, if you guys don't know the history of the NAPA sponsorship on this car, I'll quickly go over it. It's not actually a corporate NAPA sponsorship like you would have for Ron Capps or Chase Elliott, to name a couple of NAPA sponsored drivers. This was some local distributors from Indiana, Ohio, places around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway area. They got together and put the sponsorship deal together for this car. Now, obviously, that money came from NAPA, so NAPA put their names on it, but this was actually a local distributor deal rather than corporate NAPA. And my goodness, these people certainly got their money's worth. Again, the deal was actually came together fairly late as well. It actually came together, I think, the second or third day into the month of May, at least for the oval track testing. My friend Diecast Reviews, aka Brody Banta, actually was able to break the story to me that NAPA was coming on the car. He did notice that the car was suddenly branded in blue and yellow, and being the observant fellow he is, he noticed that there were some people in NAPA hats wandering around, so he figured out that NAPA was going to sponsor the car. So let's take a look at the Firestone tires here. These are the special 100th running tires. Now, obviously, they didn't put the extra detail on there that these little lines you see between the Firestone logos and the Indy 500 logos, those are supposed to be words of every Indy 500 winner who has won the race on Firestone tires, but obviously that's such a small detail that they couldn't realistically include it, which I'm fine with. You can see, we're just going to go over the Aerokit parts first. You can see the small Honda front wing, which is different than the standard DW12, though it's along the same kind of design line. If it would focus at all on the front wing there, maybe. What are you focusing on, camera? There we go. The front wing, pretty nice looking front wing there. Obviously, it's certainly different than the Chevrolet, which is very, very large. I said in my Aerokits Explained video that the small front wing is, the Honda is much more of a low drag setup, and the Chevy goes for downforce, at least in their super speedway configurations. Then you've got the good old sponsor blocker there, with the big old honking hole in the middle there. And then, of course, probably the couple of the most defining features of the Honda Aerokit. You've got this kind of squared off bumper or wheel cover just above the rear wheel there, which is one solid piece. Of course, the Chevrolet uses two pieces, but for qualifying they copied Honda a little bit and went with a one-piece setup. Then you've got the dorsal fin here, the very extended, long engine cover, of course, with that dorsal fin, which is very well modeled here on the Greenlight car. Then you move to the back of the car with the rear bumpers, and if we've got a little bit of hair from the packaging in there, but you've got the rear bumpers with the little rabbit ears, which again Chevy copied off of Honda. These are actually done in metal. So the rear bumpers are metal, the rear wing is metal. In fact, every part on this car, aside from the wheels and tires, is metal. Which again, when I said Greenlight did not skimp on this one, they absolutely did not. They gave us full metal and rubber and then plastic wheels. There you go, there's some more hair on there. That kind of happens when you have blister packaging. Sometimes you get those little hairs in there. But yeah, there you go, dustless blaster. There's the iconic Honda swan neck rear wing design. Very nice and amazing detail. I mean, look at the black with the detail with the yellow details there. Just looks fantastic. In fact, look at this. They even modeled the roof flap, or not the roof flaps, but the bumper flaps there, which they were implemented this year to help prevent some of the backwards acrobatics we saw in 2015 from the Indy cars. There you go. You've got the closed-off bumpers for this year with the rookie stripes, the number 98 done in yellow. For the rest of for the veterans in the field, those were done. The numbers on the bumpers were done in white, and you've got little NAPA Auto Parts logos there. So let's start going over sponsors. First thing I want to talk about is the number 98. which of course has won the Indianapolis 500 twice in the last 6 years, with Rossi winning in 16 and the late Dan Weldon winning in 2011. Of course, both for Bryan Herta Autosport entered cars, so they won the 100th running and the 100th anniversary. You do have a paint chip here, and there is some paint work here and on the nose here. I want to point out this one is just kind of flaking off, which is unfortunate. I think that's just because it's kind of a chrome decal. But aside from that, really nice looking. And let's see, Dustless Blaster. That was a big sponsor. That probably would have been the primary if NAPA hadn't come on, I imagine. Purple Power. Yeah, darn right. Buddy Lazier representing. Then you've got the number plate there, and the number plate shows the number 1 for P1. So this car, technically, I guess you could call it a raced version because, of course, Rossi drove the car wearing the number 1 into victory lane. You've got the good old NAPA Auto Parts logo, and there was somebody on track forum before when this car was unveiled said, "Boy, I'd really like this car as a diecast," and then ended up actually and saying, "We probably won't get it unless it wins." And darn it if it did win. Then you got some Andretti Autosport sponsors there. The Bala Camp there. If you see that, you may remember me talking about how the sponsorship was done. The Bala Camp section of, or Black Camp, or however you pronounce that, that's the subsidiary of NAPA that actually put this deal together. So thank them for that. I really think it's cool that Technicolor was a sponsor on this car. If you don't know, that's like a film company that like colorizes film, or used to. You may, if you ever watch an old movie and watch the credits, it says like color by Technicolor. That's that. You got Mockett there. CSNA, which is an Alexander Rossi sponsor. Then you got the little NAPA Auto Parts logo on the tail of the nose right there, which actually stayed on the Andretti Autosport cars for the entire year, all 4 of them throughout the entire year. Got Robert Graham, California Pizza Kitchen, Bryan Herta Autosport, UFD, DHL, Snapple, Castrol Edge, 98, NAPA, and the Alaska Coffee Roasting Company, which is another personal sponsor of Alexander Rossi. You've got some more NAPA stuff up here. It looks like limited equipment, I want to say, is on there. Then you got the red onboard camera, Castrol Edge, Honda, and then you've got the Indy 500 tires. You got even more logos here on the wing end plate, which I think are NAPA and something else that's just nearly impossible to read, so small. Then you got STP up here on the rear winglet, or the rabbit ear, whatever you want to call it. And I think another Dustless Blaster. I think I may have called it Dustless Blasting. I mean something Blaster. Oops. Whatever the Blaster sponsor is, it's not Dustless Blasting. That's a different sponsor. But yeah, we'll just give a perspective view of the top of the car here, and you guys can take a look at the details on this absolutely fantastic looking diecast. This is one of my favorite IndyCar diecast I've seen in a very, very long time in terms of detail from a 164. This is up there with those Hot Wheels Reynards that I'm still continuing to work my way through reviewing on this channel. But this is just an absolutely fantastic car. Just so good. Here's the bottom. I sometimes forget to show this off, so I'll show off the bottom. I'm pretty sure it's just the standard DW12 chassis that you see with the rest of the diecast. Real quick, we'll also take a look at the card since I decided to just do the full diecast review right there. Here's the card, the 100th running Alexander Rossi 2016 Indy 500 champion. That's him crossing the line, of course, at the end of the race. And here's the back of the box, or the back of the card, with Rossi on the in the post-race, or the just after the day after photos. There we go. And then you got Alexander Rossi wrote his name into the history books, winning the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500 and taking his first Verizon IndyCar Series win in spectacular style. Starting from the 11th position on the grid, the American won the iconic race in the front of a sold-out audience, driving the number 98 NAPA Auto Parts /Curb Honda for the Andretti Herta Autosport team. and becoming the first rookie to win the prestigious race in 15 years. The 200-lap race was marked a new chapter for Alexander's open-wheel story, finding victory in the iconic Indianapolis Motor Speedway in his sixth career Verizon IndyCar Series start. Alexander became the 70th winner in race history and will become the 103rd face on the famed Borg Warner Trophy. The reason that is because there were co-drivers in a few years. In front of the first sellout in the Indy 500 history, Rossi wowed the 350,000 fans in attendance. Alexander credited strategy calls made by Bryan Herta and the team for the phenomenal result. So there you go. That is Bryan Herta's car, or the Bryan Herta's car, Alexander Rossi's car. Real quick too, I want to show off the Honda versus the Chevrolet Aerokit molds there. Let's see if we can't get these in a little bit better light here. Obviously, these are going to be the two IndyCar diecasts you're going to have for next year. So just side by side, they look absolutely fantastic together. And obviously, you can really see the differences between the two styles of car. I'm really disappointed. You probably, longtime people at my channel will know this, but I'm really disappointed that IndyCar decided to get rid of the Aerokits and stop development for this year, and then eventually move to a spec body for 2018. Really unfortunate because for all the guff they get, the Aerokits, I think they really did a good job of producing some fantastic racing, and the cars look different. And it's interesting to see different design elements taken into account for IndyCar racing. That's such a major part of the sport, innovation and different designs and trying something new, that it's really unfortunate that we're going to lose that once again and go back to spec. But oh well, that's another rant for another day. Just wanted to show that off to you guys because I think it's very interesting. So that is a very long-winded review of Alexander Rossi's number 98 Honda, the 100th running of the Indianapolis 500 race, 100th running winner of the Indianapolis 500 race. I'm starting to lose words because I've said so many. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys do enjoy Indy 500 content, be sure to subscribe because during the month of May, I will be doing full uninterrupted coverage of the Indianapolis 500 for what I call Indianapolis 500 month on my channel. I hope to see you guys there. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and again, subscribe to me, David Land. So, again, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been a very fun video to do, and I hope to see you in the next video.